Hi everyone. I previously uploaded how to dimension wood, but I've never even resolved a board to start a project. So at this time, I wanted to try making something out of this wood. And here is what I made. This is a branding iron storage. Yeah, again, it's just a shop organizing project, but let's see how I made it. This time, I have to start with resawing the board, but I didn't think I would do well on this board. So I roughly rip it first, and then I resawed it. People often show how tired they get after doing it, but for this size of the board, it's not much of work. I mean, if you think it's tiring before doing it, I think it is for sure, but in reality, it only takes few minutes for this small board. One thing I can tell you is, because your saw may have a little ding or you may have a cutting habit, it's good to alternate the side of cutting to equalize the error margin, unless you are resawing to keep one board. Then I clean the surface. Seriously, I wasn't sure how well I can resaw the boards, so I didn't have a complete plan for this project. And now it's time to think the details of the box I'm about to make. Anyways, like I mentioned, I just uploaded a video about how I dimension wood, and at my level of accuracy, anyone can do it after a bit of practice. It's not about your skill or how good your tools are, but if you know your tools and how they work. There should be a more efficient way, but at the end of the day, you can get at least workable pieces. Moving on to the miter dovetail. Since I resawed this board, I decided to try a 360 continuous grain box. I usually use the inside of the board for the outside of the box for the joint stability, but for this size, I think you can make it any way you like. Then I cut the miter dovetail. I didn't record the marking process, but I think it's the most important process to have a tight joint. If you have watched my 1-year milestone video, I said I don't transfer the tails to the pinboard, but I mark both sides, and it's to improve my marking accuracy and find my tendency of error when marking. Now, I finally get to know how well I should mark, and for this thin board, I feel comfortable enough to make this joint. If you are a beginner, I recommend you to try dovetail on a 1/4 inch board. The fabrication is relatively easy, so you can practice and focus on the marking, and you will see as long as you do marking correctly, the joint is presentable. I mean, if your marking lines are off, no matter how well you cut to the lines, you'll end up shaving here and there, and you'll be sad at the end. Now, the miter part. I had hard time on this last time, because I was focusing on the accuracy of a 45-degree angle, but not much on the positioning where exactly to start the miter cut. I can tell you, please focus on the 45-degree accuracy when making the jig, but when cutting the joint, just trust your jig and please focus on the positioning of the cut. Otherwise, you'll see gaps somewhere. Moving on to the lid and the bottom of the box, I've shown a similar process many times, so I don't have much to say. So here, let me thank you my subscribers and welcome new friends. I'm actually surprised that I have almost about 3K subs, though that made me scared of saying stupid jokes. Well, for new friends, I'm just a random guy who enjoys woodworking. But one thing I can say is, I do my best on every project to appreciate your time watching it. Anyways, I start to like making a box, and this is actually my favorite process. Okay, it's almost there, but now I should make this box into a branding iron storage. Here, I will put the brass rod for the branding iron to rest when it's hot. As I wanted to put the rod after the assembly of the box, I'm making a mortise for a plug. Then I chamfered all the pieces. I like chamfering the edge first to reduce the material on the corner that reduce the risk of tear out when doing the end grain next. It's about the leverage on each wood fiber, and still the very corner tip has the tear out risk, but you can just shave inward and it's all good. Now let's glue up, but my bad. By accident, I was recording my butt, so I decided to take this opportunity to show my charismatic fashion style. Anyways, I put the rod and the plugs from both sides and let it dry overnight. And finally, I trimmed the excess with a chisel. I usually use a hand plane, but here's the final product. For the quality of the build, I'm happy with it, but I marked the wrong place by knife. I think this type of mistake is my signature, so I may not even need a branding iron. But aside from it, everything went well. Oh, I know some of you may not like this plug visually. It's okay, me too. I thought it would make a good accent to a simple box, but it was only in my head. The good thing is, this works as I want it. Now I have a place to cool down the branding iron, and as long as I put it in the right direction, it stays in the middle, and I guess that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I would be happy if you liked the video and happier if you subscribe to this channel. If you have any suggestion to my video, it's also welcome. See you!